Action.
I'd have been a bunch of squabbles in my life, you know what I'm saying? I think I've been touched up a time or two, but I had to get my get back. I ain't never had my butt whooped so good that I had to go get a lawyer. I ain't never got spanked it so good that I went and got a lawyer and said, hey, he punched me and it wasn't fair. He hit me in my solar plexus and I couldn't breathe. And when I gasped for air, he punched him in my throat. Like, that's what Kendrick Lamar has done to Drake. He has punched him in his throat. He done reached in, like, have you seen Indiana Jones when it's a Gali Ma? He reaches into his chest, he pulls his heart out. He just reaches and pulls his heart out. That's what Kendrick has done to Drake. He said, "I got your heart, nigga.
Let me ask you a question though.
I got your heart, nigga."
Can you even say the P word and not get some kind of strike? Because I do think it's odd that Kendrick was able to use that in the song, put it out, and everybody sing to it, and it doesn't seem to have censorship.
Even if I have take any contention with that point, right? They did it, and it's billions and billions, and everyone is banging, and everyone is saying they not like us, or he's not like us, and he's not like us. Right. And so when all this cultural thing happening, and Drake suing, it's even worse.
Right.
But with riding this whole wave, I'm just wondering, hey, what are we like? And that might be the most anti-culture question ever. What are we like? What is the culture? Huh? Like, whatever Kendrick's culture is, when I saw the album cover for his new album, GNX, I didn't relate to that. I don't know what no Grand National is. You know what I'm saying? That I said, wow, that take me back to, man, you must have had a rich uncle or something. You know what I mean? I don't know what that situation is like.
Hey man, same thing. Look, shout out to Larry June, because Larry June got an album dedicated to Grand Nationals, or he talks about, I think it's called Grand National. Here's the thing, he's from the West Coast, so that's like a West Coast thing. If you're in the West Coast music, you would really understand that. That's a great point though, because we from Houston, we identify with swangers on the lat or something like that. And Grand National's a Buick, but other Buicks and things like that. Rivieras.
I've never liked that sound. You
never liked the West Coast sound?
No, Dash, Corrupt, none of that.
I love West Coast
none
music.
of the East Siders, none of that.
I love West Coast.
That sound, whatever that sound is, the only sound I like is E40. I don't know why I like E40. I just like E40.
Hurricane.
You can
call me Slurricane. Hey, listen, dog. Yeah. Hey, this is the thing about that. He from the Bay. And I think there's a lot of Southern influence in the Bay, so that's kind of why that music, I think we relate to it. Too Short, you know what I'm saying, that low end, you know what I'm saying? We really identify with that. But it's funny that you say that.
Why? What's up?
Because who is Kendrick talking to?
Who is he talking to? I don't know, man.
Who are you talking to, Kendrick?
And because he's black, all of a sudden he just identifies like that. And I'm just like, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. Because a lot of the gangbanging and stuff like that, like politically, I can see an argument for them to have a position in the movement, because every political faction has to have some type of force. You just have to have some type of force. And so I can see them being integrated into the black movement if it was some actual political rhetoric. But as far as just politicking and street justice, I'm like, man, is that what black is? Is that who we are? Is that who we are? Because I'm looking around, right? And the rite of passage to a black man is going to prison, because we look at our system and we know that we've been disenfranchised politically and economically, and then we can't even say that out loud, because you can't be no male victim. You know what I'm saying? In a competition, you have to compete, and I can't tell you why I ain't got it. I just got to get it, and then no matter how I get it, now I got it, nigga, and I'm a man. What's up? Is that what we are?
I've said this. This is why I said that we had the most. We are filled with debauchery. We have the most perverse culture on earth. I said this because we're looking at people that we said, that's like us, that's what we can appreciate, all intertwined with gang culture. I spoke on gang culture before and what I thought that really has done to us as black people in the black society. When you look at even Snoop Dogg, we love Snoop. We love his records. But, you're on the biggest stage in America, Crippin'. You a Crip. That's what you represent. Now, to pop culture, these things look cool, but in those very communities that they come from, they cause so much detriment. So it's so funny that we here, because I've stayed away from this. I have not really got into this when I talk about Kendrick, because I haven't trolled y'all. I thought that Drake is the better rapper. Yeah, I do like Drake, but I also appreciate Kendrick. I said Good Kid, Mad City is the greatest hip hop record ever, so I'm not being biased, but I've always had an issue, no matter what rapper it is, on this influence of gangsterism and drugs. These are the two things that have done what you just said. Sent us to prison. And and it's elevated to a place now. You've had this drill culture. You've had all these other forms of rap and hip hop that people have really died from. So it's like, hey, when y'all up here saying, "Oh, Kendrick represents the culture," what are you talking about? Because is he a revolutionary? Do you think he's a revolutionary? What revolutionary things has he done besides bring more attention and a view of where he's from? That, guess what? It spread around the country like wildfire and caused all kind of issues.
I'm looking at it like there's so much happening right now in America, and we have a racial divide in America. We have a racial divide within black folks because when I ask like what are we? I'm not trying to be ambiguous or funny. I'm like, hey, for real. Like, I think that black folks are supposed to be excellent. I'm looking at Kendrick Lamar and you see this rap superstar, but in all honesty, this man has to be extremely dedicated to his craft to be able to say the word. So this is an extremely disciplined person. He has to be able to work with other people. So he has to be like a social person within his team and his producers and his managers. He has to be he has to have so many skills to get to the place that he's at. And instead of like understanding the makings of the man, he's talking about he's not like us. And I'm like, man, who are you? Who are you?
Right.
What it is that you stand for?
Right.
Goodness gracious, the last album, you're just trying to give me homosexuality or you wanted me to empathize with it in some way, form, or fashion. And I'm like, why is this becoming part of hip hop culture? It's supposed to be bars and rhymes and my lived experience. And like, is that the lived experience that you want to broadcast? And if so, for what reason?
That's facts. That's why I'm saying, hey, if we want to be honest, these guys are signed to, they have dealings with one major label that controls how this media gets out and they can promote it. And they have a percentage of ownership in Spotify, which guess what? Spotify, I don't know, it might be over Apple Music as far as a streaming platform. I'm just saying where people go
bigger, like size-wise?
Bigger. It might be.
Spotify's bigger than Apple Music.
Spotify, I'm an Apple Music person, but Spotify is big. So getting your records on Spotify
globally,
and having them spin, that is a very, 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 very big deal. So they have a percentage of ownership in this. It's so funny that this all came up because shows back, many shows back, I believe at this point, you were like, hey, they not like us. It keep coming up. I want to listen to this, but I have to listen to this. This is before this petition even came up.
Yeah, it's recorded.
It's recorded. I said with the prophetic podcast. This is recorded. So he said, hey, it's coming up all the time. And I was like, I didn't want to make this type of judgment, because, we were early in. It's like, okay, hey, what if they're definitely pushing the song? Because when you talk to most people, they really don't listen to Kendrick like that. And we being honest, he has a lot of fans, but it's outside of the black demographic.
I had the thought, I said, I want to hear some Damn. I'm trying to put in Damn, and it keeps playing Not Like Us. It's playing Euphoria. It's playing all the disses when all I wanted to hear was Damn.
Right.
Or I wanted to hear Love. I wanted to hear a Humble. Anything off of that Damn album was pretty hard, for maybe a time or two. And then I put that shit down. That's the truth about it, man. Ain't nobody just going to Kendrick Lamar when you just want to jam. You ain't never came to my door and heard me just jamming to Kendrick Lamar.
Maybe some Future going on in here.
Man, I want to hear something like this because, hey, he is like the most gangster R&B nigga ever. He tells the truth about
Future.
Yeah. And that's like he tells the truth. He lies and tells the truth. He's mostly, I don't know the man's life. But just the story of doing things to impress women, like that's the most men relate to. Future.
Yeah.
He's like a healthy balance, right? Like Kendrick Lamar, whatever, you're married, I don't even know. When you talk about women, the black of the berry, whatever, bro. And then you get to Drake and you got this individual where he'll say anything and he'll do anything. You can't be no billionaire and be still knocking out fours. You can't do that.
Right.
That's irresponsible. Goodness gracious.
Man, look, I think when it comes down to jamming, Drake jam. He got the jams. We've been jamming to Drake. You don't have to necessarily be this, uberly big Drake fan or whatever, but we can't deny that there's music jam. If there's ladies in the spot, we jamming Drake. Most people are. I'm not saying people. Look, I jam Kendrick. That's a car ride. That's when I'm riding. And I'm jamming Kendrick.
Most definitely they play him in Target.
Oh, Drake.
Most Def said they listen to Drake
Hey,
and Target.
these old niggas be
it's
hating.
shopping music.
These old niggas be hating.
I don't know.
Most Def, you know, it should like look, Black on Both Sides, dope record, nigga. That's one of my favorite records. I got to actually meet Most Def one time in person. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just awesome. He's one of my favorite rappers. But I feel like sometimes these old, like you know what you saying. Like he's like what you listen to in Target. Like what the fuck does that mean? Nigga, the shit jam. Nigga, we jamming different shit in Target right now. It's no different than how a lot of hip hop became commercialized and you heard it in different spaces.
You don't think that Drake kind of makes elevator music?
Fuck no.
Oh.
I'm okay. I can talk about this beef from start to finish because this is what happened when the Like That record came out. I said that hey, I jammed Drake, but I never really put on this is big time confession. I had never just listened to full Drake albums because I'm kind of like that with a lot of artists. I'm gonna listen to like Larry June. That's my favorite rapper. I'm gonna listen to Larry June because I feel like okay, this just I love his music, his flow. This hit home more. I vibe with this. So a lot of times I won't know how great these artists are until I go through their whole albums. So at the very beginning of this, I went through all the Drake's, top to bottom, everything he had out to that point, and I went through Kendrick albums, everything he had to that point, to compare the artists so I could talk about why I felt that Drake was better. Because it was like, damn, Drake really be rapping. Everything he done rapped on. Kendrick, everybody feel like it's hit or miss. So I got to listen to these artists through and through. Listening to Drake, I'm like, hey, this dude got some really good music. And to be totally honest, the later projects he put out, like I think Certified Lover Boy is a classic. But you know what? We in this age of media.
I think you got music has to be experienced. It has to be a social experience. You got to see what a song does to really say, oh man, there are a lot of songs that I don't even like. But when I see what it does, I'm like, holy Christ, I don't even know why it does what it's doing. But that song is doing what it's doing. I don't think there's very much Kendrick music that is going to get the people to start doing the thing. And I think that people like Drake, I think he makes his music to do that. I think Kanye, he makes his music to be played for the stadium. He makes his music for 40,000 people. Like, that's the sound.
Yeah.
Like, anthems, man. Like, that's what this whole... And so the cultural significance of it. But I look back at... look at this guy, Kendrick Lamar, and I don't think he represents me. He doesn't, Kung Fu Kenny, he doesn't represent me.
Kung Fu Kenny now.
Kendrick Duckworth does not represent me, whatever this person's name is. And maybe it's just a whatever coast thing, but it's not my thing.
I say this on an artistic level because we are artists. In our own rights for artists. I understand it enough to say there's parallels. There's parallels between all black men because I'm gonna go back to Good Kid, Mad City and just like the story. Like if you're an inner city urban kid, this is just my pushback. You're an inner city urban kid. You can identify having good character, being a good kid, not necessarily wanting to be involved in any type of criminal activity, but your friends might be. You might go along with them. Or you may have some experience with this because of the nature of the neighborhood you grew up in. And I think he just painted his own individual picture.
Can we step on that shit? Man, most niggas was inside. Y'all niggas didn't go outside. Like I used to go, like all these little black niggas used to act like they was in the hardest areas. And me and my brother would go play with them. And I'm like, nigga, this is fofo. Niggas, this is Studewood. Niggas is suburban areas. Niggas is nice neighborhoods. Nigga, Pine Mile Plasma, this is nice areas. Man, you let your grandma live in a nice community. Y'all pay to get y'all grass cut. Nigga, my shit sit on blocks. Y'all motherfuckers don't understand what it's like to be from the struggle. You don't know what it's like when it rains outside, it rains inside.
Come on, man.
Niggas don't, man, I'm like, man, stop playing with me.
I was inside.
Your grandmama bought you Jordans, nigga. Shut the, man, stop that shit.
But I was inside Park. You know what I'm saying? I say that, to where you can see things happening. You can see, I've seen crackheads ride up and down the street, take plants, ride bikes, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a gun pulled out on someone. Like, there is a certain visionary aspect to when you live in an urban environment, but to be personally not like that, I've never wanted to be out in the streets, Of course, as we get older, this is where I think the whole selling of drug thing come in. That might meet your door, if you want to get some money, or you might see it as an easy way. So as you get older, sometimes things can approach you, but for the most part, nah, man.
We permit liars, like the spectator is a spectator, but niggas preface your shit by saying I was a spectator. Man, say that you was on the porch watching the niggas run up and down the street. Don't act like you was running up and down the street, because and you know what? And that's okay because we need storytellers to be diligent and to see
Witnessed
the
it from
thing.
your folks' past, scribbled in your notepad. Yeah, hey, Jay got on Nas ass.
It created your life.
Talking about that Nas one that. Stop. But anyways, we ain't gonna go into that. But however, I also, let's make this cultural difference too. I don't know what it's like to not be able to go over the street over because it might be a rival gang over there. Nah, there were dangers of being in the neighborhood, but I could walk up in whatever I wanted to wear up to the Timmy Chan. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up off Melody and MLK. I'm really from over there. So it's like, I could walk up there. Then Shipley's, before that Shipley's was a Frenchie's. I'm sorry. Before the Shipley's there was a Frenchie's. They tore that down, and eventually they built the Shipley. You could walk over to Shipley like, now I ain't gonna lie. One time I rode my bike over there before they put that Shipley's there. It was just rubber. I rode my bike over there because it was like an obstacle course. And man, a gang of dudes rolled up on me and jacked me for my bike, man. It was the worst. It was the worst thing. But you know what the manliest thing was? My dad. Bro? My dad, when I went and told my dad what happened, I thought we just out. He said, where they at? Man, he got information from next door neighbors on who the kids was. Somebody recognized the kids and where they stay. He drove up there, put his gun in his pocket, drove over there, and guess what? Got my bike back, man. So I was like, man, hey, when you have a father in the hood too, dad really makes a big old difference. But I'm just saying, like, you will have some experience, but
we got to stop this nonsense, bro. Like, being poor is not a uniquely black experience. And
right.
the poor Mexican experience, growing up in the barrio and having gang fights and all this drug activity and all this, the poor experience is the poor experience. We had like the goddamn poor experience is uniquely the nigga experience. No. Hey, man, there's a lot of poor motherfuckers in America, man. And the poor white person experience ain't uniquely in no trailer park. There's a lot of poor whites in areas of America. We like, damn, I wouldn't even think about that.
So poor whites have Eminem. So are you saying that the poor blacks have Kendrick Lamar?
I'm saying
he's the Eminem, black Eminem.
Hey, stylistically, if you just listen to Kendrick Lamar, if you listen to it, I hear it. I hear the pitches, the sounds, the tonalities, the way he plays with lyrics, the way he plays with sound. I'm like, that's he sounds like what Eminem was not allowed to be because he was white.
I don't know if I like that take, because hey, so look, I got this thing about Eminem, man. I be on Facebook, man. I be kind of causing a ruckus talking about this dude, but he's not in my top 5. He's not even in my top 10. He's got 3 great albums, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did numbers, but I think it was because he was white. He probably did have a poor experience, but at the end of the day,
tell me why that doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
Him being white.
Oh, I said it does matter that he's white because I think it matters because it broadens him to a larger audience. He unified. He could get black people. He can get white people to unify. Like you just said, he's able to communicate with, the poor white, the middle America white dude. You know what I'm saying? Also, he appealed to black people. He could rap.
I've been exploring this concept about power and how power still matters, and just because powerful people are compassionate, it doesn't change the fact that powerful people are powerful. White people, no matter, hey, right now they're not going to be the majority. No, they're not going to be the majority, like as in total demographics, but there's still 200 million of them. There's still 200 million white people. And so maybe combined, everyone else is 200 million of us, but there's still 200 million white people. And to pretend like they're not powerful, like we get so confused.
You think that is really more white people in the United States of America than black people?
Absolutely, positively, hell yeah. Yes, bro. I mean,
you know what I think it is? I think we've talked about this before because they've merged. This might go back on what we talked about as far as ADOS and stuff like that. But I'll say this, at least on the white side, they merged everybody as white. So you got Irish, you got Italian, you got German, you got all these different forms of types of white that can claim white. And I think that's merging.
They wanted to be white. They wanted to be white. They didn't want to be no nigga. Hell, right now, Hispanic people, their birth certificate says white. Right now, and they did this politically. When all these little brown La Raza groups and all these individuals went asking to be full citizens, they wanted to specifically say, on my birth certificate, y'all gonna acknowledge me as being a white person. We are not them. And so all these people have been politically aligned against us, and then they give a black face, you know what I'm saying? They take the Rainbow Coalition, they put the black person in front of it and say, just take it. And I'm like, man, I'm tired of just taking anything that you want to give me.
Let me ask you a question, because now you have man, we definitely can see, at least numerically, Latino and Hispanic. It's a vast majority, or not a vast majority, but there's a significant amount in population, and we see that through exit polls. And now on a lot of applications, you can put white, white Hispanic, or I think it's Hispanic or something like that. I think I don't know if it's white on, but it's Hispanic, Latino, whatever. They can say Hispanic or Latino. Do you think that's turning around the way you're gonna see more Latino people say, I'm gonna put Latino over white?
I don't give a damn. I ain't trying to be ugly. I'm being for real. Like, they ain't asking no questions about me because they trying to build houses and establish themselves. And I look at, when I asked the question about this Kendrick thing, like, who are we? What are we like? Why are we not business minded? Why are we not industrious? If I look at the situation and I say that black folks ain't got no homes, nigga, don't get mad at me for saying that black folks ain't got no homes. If I look and I say that a lot of black folks ain't got no education or are uninformed, don't get mad at me because I said it. Get up off your ass and go do something to help these people that are uneducated and uninformed.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with asking that. Home ownership is important. We talked about that, because even when we did mention the possibility or this proposal of undocumented immigrants getting homes, okay, well, let's say how they're going to be able to pay that mortgage. You're not telling me you're not going to give any type of government assistance in that. So you very well could help black home ownership go up and set up the same type of program. And this hasn't been asked for. We don't even recognize. We get so caught up in silly ass arguments, we're not even thinking, hey, y'all could actually do that. Hey, Nancy Pelosi, you're a big time Democrat over there, and you're promoting that? Why don't you promote that over here?
The nigga ideology, if I say it, number one, I'll tell you that I'll say, man, just study and you can get ahead. And say, man, no, the system ain't gonna let me get ahead. Then I'll tell you, okay, then let's fight back against the system using blunt force. When I say blunt force, I mean just numbers. Just show up physically and say that I don't like this, and you say that'll never work. And then so at every time when it's time to do something productive, you say it ain't gonna happen. And so when it comes to politically to the president or the mayor or whomever, you say no. And so maybe it's time to stop being a fucking coward and to be courageous. And I'm not trying to be ugly to nobody.
That's real.
And for Kendrick Lamar, when I started off talking about this individual, hey nigga, you can't say that another man is debaucherous and say that he's the problem and not give me a solution.
Come on.
Like, I don't think that's masculine. I don't think that's a leader. I don't think that's shit. If I tell you what I think there's a problem in America, if I say the family is broken, then you got to stop incentivizing destroying family. And so you got to get rid of no-fault divorce. You got to get rid of child support. And now if you want to deal with a man and have his baby, you got to deal with that man. You can't motherfucking marry me and divorce me and take my child and deal with the state. Fuck no. You got to talk to me.
Men have to step up in our community. We have to stop relating to just entertainers. In fact, I can't tell you who to relate to, but we definitely need in our community more men to step up, and not these old weak ass, sassy ass Democrats. That means,
bro, I need you to tell them because these they don't know what to do.
What you're doing?
These young men don't know what to do, bro.
You have a man right here who's unapologetic in what he's saying. He has conviction. He's able to bring it to your plate. He's able to tell you what it is. He's able to open up and say, hey, this is what I actually think. He's able to have another man here have dialogue and not get into it with and get in his fucking feelings when I may disagree with him. Like, that's masculinity. And if we're not showing masculinity, we don't have men teaching men how to be men, then we're going to keep getting coward motherfuckers, people that don't want to listen and pay attention to what's going on and understand what's affecting our community. And you know what? We got weak ass men. We have weak ass men in our community, and that's why it's in fucking shambles. It is a matriarch.
But you hear the jealousy. Like, Elon Musk builds starships and creates electric cars and has robots. And you'll say that's white supremacy. Or maybe that's some creativity. And if he used a lot of people's ideas to create these ideas, then damn, like, to uniquely take, it's called a fucking whatever, the collage. The collage of ideas. Like, you have the same ability to go and create a collage of ideas to create something great. And when I say that, you doubt yourself. And I'm like, why do you doubt yourself? Some of the bitches look at me and say, you talk on a microphone. Do you know how hard it is to create an audience? Everything is easy to the person who hasn't done it. Everything is easy to the person who hasn't tried it. You can just say whatever. Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's easy. Man, try it. Try it. And so what I'm saying, when you're talking to these young men, tell them, hey, do something. Create a media company. Create a political organization. Create a super black pack. Like, do whatever you want.
Right.
Like, whatever you want to do.
And there's ways to raise money now. Y'all go to rap. Y'all want to go rap and get money. Y'all haul the money phone up to rapping. You know, guess what? You can do that in other ways on the internet. You can get your message out. You can fund your message. You can take that money and then go, like we say, you want to get an artificial intelligent robot that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, folds, clothes, whatever the case may be. We can do it. We just got to, it starts in our mind. We got to see that we actually, and understand that, and especially right now, we actually can do these things and make it happen.
It starts in my mind, but all I see is bullshit. All I see is trash and poverty and crack and whores. That's all I see. That's all I see. Hey, guess what, man? If you don't want to see nothing different, then fuck it. That's what it is, what it is. That's your reality. We
Right.
have this conversation about reality, and I'm like, I hold these people accountable. We have a microphone in front of us. Hey, this GNX, you know what I'm saying? All these songs that you created. Right now, young men need to be aspirational.
Right.
Somebody needs to tell them that you're worth it, that you deserve it.
Right.
Work hard, squabble up, whatever. If you get some dirt on your jeans, it's good. You get some dirt on your shoes, it's all right. You gonna be all right.
Right.
Man, that's the anthem for right now for young men, bro. Because this is the holidays. It's hard, right? For real. and when they say they're not like us, I'm a dad separated from my children, and every day I'm doing the best that I can just to show up for myself. Yeah. And I'm supposed to be physically present when my children show up, and it's like, man, I've been in hustle mode, grind mode, and now I gotta be in daddy mode. I gotta be a multi-tool as a person, and don't nobody give a shit. But I care though.
Right.
A man was in the comment section. He said that child support is whooping his ass. And you know what? I was like, I want to tell him, man, just fucking keep your head up, keep your chin up, fucking 1% better every day. Nigga, I know it's hard.
Right.
I just show up, homie. If you show up, I'm going to show up. You hear me? Like, I'm going to show up. And then they're going to give me a little bit of power. They're going to give me an opportunity to fight back. And I'm not finna ascend to the Hollywood hills. I'm finna get busy. I'm finna use resources to buy ammunition, and ammunition is in the form of more cameras, more microphones, more media, for more consumption to compete in a world where it's a battle of ideas. I'm finna kick some ass, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm finna kick some ass, nigga. I'm kicking ass, taking names, nigga. What's your name?
And we doing that because we want them to know you're the greatest American alive.
Shit. The greatest American alive. Nigga, I'm trying to tell you fucking y'all ass, nigga. I'm like,
The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive.